Hi there, this is Ed and Caleb with the revised intro to the revised One Shot Part 2. So the original version of this did not have any music whatsoever, and I almost lost it because I did not spend until 7 in the morning painstakingly trying to find music that would fit the vibe of what my players were envisioning for certain scenes for it not to show up. Right? So here we are with the revised version, the revised intro. In the original version, I implied that I said in part 1 that the Demigods one-shot will be later. That's technically not true. Well, part of it's not true. The Demigods one-shot will come later. I just need to edit it, and I need to make sure that it is good and ready for release. It might take a bit because I'm currently planning a trip somewhere rather fun and important. And also planning recordings for season 2, which is going to happen very, 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 very soon. So please enjoy part 2 of our Monsterhearts one-shot. Let's have some fun. Cale, where do we find you as the moon rises?
As the moon rises, just past the full moon, or the night of the full moon.
You would know that it's within that between time. We all know that the full moon only exists for, I want to say, maybe 45 minutes.
At best, yeah.
It still appears full to you.
Okay. Gotcha. Either way, he is...
Also, audience, if you didn't know that, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to shatter the illusion of a full moon to you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Caleb.
I very obsessively track the full moon because I've got tarot cards and divinatory tools to charge.
Yeah, you got it.
I had to come to this realization myself. Cale, where do we find you? What are you doing? It is Halloween. What's on your mind?
It's Halloween. Cale has a party to go to. There's an individual that has brought mention of dark omens. Definitely don't know what those could be. And
a smash cut to Mara going do.
And Cale has a party to attend because they were invited, and it would be disrespectful not to at least appear. So since it's a Halloween party, which I think they would know that, they're going to do a little bit of fey magic and just dress themselves up in a nice, like, almost, I want to say, like, sorry,
Halloween fit check. Halloween fit check. Halloween fit check.
They are in pants that are made out of vines and leaves. That stop, the vines kind of peter out around the mid-abdomen. And since, they like to live this, they know what they have and they know what they don't have. They are going to go shirtless for the time being.
I know that's right.
But they will wear gauntlets made of leaves as well that end just before the fingertips in the hands, kind of a little bit of a flourish on the wrist. Spattered throughout all of those is a litany of vine growing flowers. Such as, I think there are some red mandavillas, as well as clematis and hydrangeas as the trio of flowers spread throughout the various pieces where vines and leaves are present. I think they're also barefoot. So, and of course, wearing their antler crown.
I say through the weaving of Fey magic, as you start to walk out of this forest, you find yourself walking outside of the forest, outside Roderick's fall home.
I'm meant to be here then.
You know the winding ways.
I do. And there's nothing that needed to happen on the way.
And as you are the first of our three to enter this party, just at the right time, as the party is starting,
Mm-hmm.
you step in and it is this, not a cacophony, but a symphony of all of these people excited and happy and just ready for these Halloween celebrations, this party to finally pop the fuck off. Low ambient music is sort of trailing among and through these people. Is this a setting where Cale would be? Is this a setting where Cale would feel at home? Is this under his potential domain? Bing bong, it's Aiden and Caleb. I messed up here. I used his when that's incorrect. Cale's pronouns are they, them. Back to the podcast. Is something that I would like to ask.
I think it is. I think it is one of the reasons that they have elected to go. It is part of their domain where people gather and enjoy and be present for each other as much as themselves.
And as you walk in barefoot and clad in nature's beauty, as you walk through the crowd and find a place among these people, these mortals, they turn to look at you in awe, in surprise, some in want to know who you are, what you do. And as you walk, there's not a perception check in this game, but I would like you to gaze into the abyss.
I can certainly do that. Roll 2d6 and add dark.
Indeed.
Which for me is a +1. Which will bring it up from a 9 to a 10.
As you find yourself lost in the beat and in this crowd, not focusing on any person in particular, but in the moment.
In the energy.
In the energy. You feel it come alive, to trail off all of these mortals in their excitement, in their cheer, in their revelry. Some might say in their hedonism. As they wrap around the party, wrap around and follow this singular trail. Your eyes follow it, rushing past, and your body does not physically follow it, but your mind does. It trails, it's beautiful, it's glorious, it's lovely. And then it slowly goes down to a lower level. It starts to become not corrupted, but tainted with something dark and ready to consume. And as you blink, knowing that you have that information and you can mechanically take one forward and deal with that situation.
Yeah.
You blink and you find yourself at a punch bowl. And standing right there is that melancholy figure you met last night. You recognize the costume. Something deep within you recognizes the costume. It may have been a falsehood written by one of the world's greatest playwrights, but you recognize a character from The Tempest. In this odd mixture of inspirations from not only Miranda, but Ophelia, is Ariadne. Just sort of standing there somewhat awkwardly with a cup in their hand.
Has the other two arrived yet, or am I still the first?
That's a good question. Nathan, as you get out of Sparrow's car, you were just jamming. You were jamming out to Flyleaf the entire way. Nathan, what is your Halloween costume?
So after having watched the Addams Family
And the Addams Family Values. Double feature.
He spent like the next day just kind of like looking on his phone. Just like, I guess like more the modern version of Addams Family. Just kind of going through to see which ones he felt like or he wanted to go as, and ended up going with Gomez because he saw a pretty cool actor. It was honestly, it was a fan casting, but it was cool. Johnny Depp as Gomez.
Yikes! Okay. Oh, that doesn't.
Okay. Honestly, I was just looking up Addams Family characters and saw it. It was like, I was like, damn, Johnny Depp. That
Nothing bad ever happens with actors.
hey.
We shan't go into it. We shan't go into it.
I love me Captain Jack Sparrow.
So I will say in the background,
and then
you did
spend the rest of the day like kind of trying to match as best he could with what he had, but yeah.
You did find in town not this Halloween store, but a seamstress who, after you showed her the photo, she must be in like her mid 80s. She has done this her entire life, it seems. And you show her the picture and she sort of looks you up and down behind very heavily tinted glasses. And she goes, don't know how a costume would stay on you, but I'll figure something out. Before you could even question that, time seems to pass in this space as she gets to work on the exact costume you need. You look at your phone and there's no way 5 minutes just passed. She turned out this costume. What? It'll fit perfectly. And she does not ask for payment. You just have a costume now. That was at 7:45. It is 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So as you step out of Sparrow's car, fully in a couple's costume with a person you literally met last night, they sort of look at you as you sort of stand in front of this estate. It's very big. It's very rich. Something about it. I would like you to gaze into the abyss.
Ooh boy, let's do this. Let's do this and add my cold.
It's dark. It's 2d6 plus dark for gaze into the abyss.
Right.
Unless you have something that changes it.
Okay. Unless you have something that changes it.
No. For some reason I thought cold. Nah, it's dark. Okay. Yeah.
Cold is shut somebody down.
Okay, so on the die, it's a 7. So it makes it an 8 with my build.
Okay. 7 to 9, the abyss shows you confusing and alarming visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. For a second, you just hear screaming. You hear screaming and sounds of panic as this rumbling from the earth just almost knocks you off your feet if you needed to focus on balance anyway, but you don't. You're a ghost. And for a second, you glance up to the sky, and the sky is this mixture of violent purple and blood red. But then you blink, and it's fine.
Uh,
All right, are you okay? I mean, we don't have to go to this party. We can just I don't know. I'm sure the Denny's down the street doesn't mind costumes.
no, I can do this. I can do this. Yeah. I was invited. I should at least show.
You feel a warm hand on your arm. Hey. I mean, it's weird how sudden this is, but you don't gotta do this alone. Not anymore.
Thank you.
Do you take Sparrow's arm into yours?
Sure.
The two of you walk in. Mara, you are the last of our three to get there. I don't know how you did because Tara's the one who drives.
I walked is how I got there, which was a long walk.
And by the
why I was
grace of
last
whatever
one.
infernal patron you serve, you are not sweaty. You still look great.
Yeah. The only thing I can thank it for at this point. Mara looks at this house, and her arms are crossed over her chest, and she looks like she does not want to be there, because she doesn't. But she's got also this steeled look in her eyes. She's very determined. And one foot after the other, she confidently walks up to the door and enters her worst nightmare.
And just before you enter, the visage of the Wicked Witch of the West turns to you and goes, "Have fun."
Mara just kind of grimaces and
Before
keeps
they
going.
turn around and keep chatting up this person dressed as Glinda.
Mara can't afford to linger or to warn.
And
This
as you
person away.
enter, there is a pit in your stomach knowing that that person could just become like you. But that doesn't matter now. The party's popping.
No, the party's bopping. We're going.
The music has the vibe of the music has gotten a bit more a bit more hype. People are starting to dance. People are starting to really sort of get into the vibe of this party. Mara, as you look around, you notice this couple, probably a couple, who would dress in a couple's costume if they weren't a couple, of Gomez and Morticia Adams. And as you zero in on Gomez, in your sight, you see just this apparition of the entity behind this Gomez going, "It's this one right here. Yeah, this one. Yeah." And they disappear.
Great.
Nathan, unfortunately, is none the wiser.
Oh, so good. Okay. So I'm assuming they're like on the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of
With the
towards
layout
back wall.
of the room and of this fucking huge villa, because rich white people won't be stopped.
No. No,
There
won't.
is the bottom floor, which is like this sort of like reception area that has turned into like this big party dance floor space with like a punch bowl near the center, not the center, but like towards the right of it. There are stairs leading up and downstairs, but there is a there's like a sort of like commandeered movie theater like bar of entry thing to the downstairs. And as you see this, you remember the entity's voice in your head. Check the basement from last night. Upstairs, there is the way this is built. On the outer edges of the upstairs, there are balconies. There's beautiful views of the forest, or like almost encircling this place. This is a beautiful place to potentially get murdered. Is the vibe of this place, because again,
Nice.
rich white people will not be stopped.
No, they will not.
And as you're looking around, you notice Cale at the punch bowl, seemingly chatting with someone.
Now, Mara has seen Cale before. Mara, ever the quiet library girl, has frequently taken books into the woods to get away from everything. The library and the woods are pretty much the only place where she can find any sort of solace, respite from the insanity that is her life.
Mm-hmm.
Getting souls for an infernal entity, not exactly a walk in the park. So she decides to go on walks in the park. And she's seen, sight of them before. And they've never really approached each other. They just kind of know the other one is there. And every so often, when Mara is in the library, she'll think she has seen his flowing silver hair in the corner of her eye, only to turn and see nothing. But then there they are, in their full
out shirtless, baby.
Full out shirtless pants that look
they
like
looking right.
plants?
They looking tight. They looking good.
They looking right. They looking tight. They looking good. But they're chatting someone up, and Mara is otherwise occupied. So she sees them. She murmurs "shit" under her breath, because unfortunately the punch bowl is right between where she needs to get to Nathan. So she's gonna have to pass them.
It is. Mm-hmm.
So she's just gonna okay. She's like rolling up her sleeves a little bit, and she's just focusing up. She's got to get through this crowd first and foremost. And she goes. She is walking towards Nathan. Eyes straight on Nathan. Nothing else. Nothing else. Straight on Nathan.
And as you walk eyes straight on Nathan, nothing's going to stop you. Oh fuck, is that Tara?
Oh shit. Tara?
Tara does not seem to hear you, as she's not in costume. And one of Roderick's little clique just like gestures and like leads her down towards the basement.
Mara goes. Mara goes to the basement. Mara fully goes.
Do I clock this?
You do.
Cale is concerned now.
Mara is following behind now.
You see, Cale, you see Ariadne pale as they clock your eyes, the line of your eyesight. But they do not say anything.
Cale will just smile, nod, and follow.
As you two are starting to move, trying to get to the basement, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, all the lights in the house go out, with a singular spotlight moving towards the top of the stairs.
Cale doesn't stop moving. Cale doesn't care.
I will say it is hard to move past all of these people as their focuses are on Roderick.
Okay.
As Roderick... Oh, how much of an asshole do I want to make this guy?
You labeled him King
You
Asshole
called him
later.
King Asshole.
King asshole. As if he stepped off the stage performing Hamilton.
Oh, God.
Do I personally know anything about Hamilton? No. So the main antagonist of Hamilton, dressed as basically an
Yeah.
absolute prick from that play.
Perfect.
He has a cane in which a mic has been haphazardly taped to the end of it.
Oh! This is Jefferson. It's Jefferson.
Yeah.
It's Jefferson. As he looks out among all of these people who decide to come to his party and go, "Party people! Make some noise!" And the crowd roars. And Cale, that line, that energy that you saw earlier, it heightens and keeps heightening for a moment. Now I know we're all supposed to have fun and treats here on Halloween, but you know me, I love a good trick. And like his sycophant to the right just gives him a laugh that is a bit too loud. To which the sycophant gets a good, like a click, like a quick like dagger glare before that party boy persona returns. Now I want to formally welcome one of my favorite people. A person everyone should get to know, right? Mara Strand, are you in here? And the spotlight, as Mara, you are fighting to try and get through these fucking people. The spotlight falls on you, and everyone's attention turns to you.
Can I do something? In a
Oh,
second?
yes.
Since this is my domain, may I use guide?
Let me know what guide does.
So guide is a thing you can do. If you spend a string on someone willing, you can bring them across the veil into the fairy realm. The spell lasts for a scene or two before you both return to the mundane world. But it's just a brief moment.
It's
But
just
it
a
would
brief
be
moment. Just a brief moment.
Mara, you feel a different sort of energy. Nothing infernal, but something.
you have to be willing. So
This is the lead up to the question.
sorry. Yeah.
This is the lead up to the question.
Cool,
You feel
thank you.
something tug at the edges of your mind. Time seems to slow as that spotlight comes and inches closer and closer to you. Do you take the offer?
Get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out.
As you wish.
You. So, for the briefest of moments, the spotlight falls and no one is there.
I imagine the fairy realm version of this. The mansion itself is physically almost the same. Color-wise, though, everything's in a more pastel hue. And the people there are almost ethereal. The fairy realm is very closely tied with the mortal plane here, but not enough. And that is the sight that you see once I assume you would flinch from the spotlight when you open your eyes. There's nobody physically present. You see these wisps that were where the people were before, and it is eerily quiet by contrast.
Fan, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
As you're describing the realm, the Fey realm that you have pulled Mara into, what does Nathan look like?
I think Nathan is the only other thing that looks normal. But there is still that almost sense of etherealness to it, because while Nathan is currently corporeal, and therefore still in the mortal plane.
Okay.
Fuck.
You want it out, right?
Mara like turns and looks to see where this voice is coming from.
And Cale is fully illuminated in this beautiful pastel light. He looks at home here.
The silver hair, which had been braided, which still is braided, kind of almost is like a little bioluminescent looking, along with the rest of the ivy and leaves. As they cross the distance between where they were, you can feel the softest of touches as a vine disentangles from your wrist and returns to the rest of his garb.
She almost touches the place where the vine was, oh, that was a real thing that I just felt. Okay. Where are we?
The Fey realm.
Right. Thank you.
You wanted out? This was your out.
And I assume you want something now.
No. Not at this moment.
She almost scoffs. She's like, oh, so another debt then.
No. In fact, this is probably repayment for all of the times that we have existed in space together.
I didn't... You never said anything.
Neither did you.
I didn't know if you wanted me to be there.
I would have told you if I didn't want you there.
My friend, I'm dying.
The one who just got dragged downstairs.
Yes, Tara. I need to find her. But she looks like she wants to say something else, and she kind of glances over at where Nathan is standing, and her eyes kind of widen a little bit at the fact that he still looks like he looked when she last saw him, which was in the mortal realm. But she glances away, and she focuses back on Cale. She's like, something's wrong.
Yes.
Can we while we're here, can we go there? Can we see what's happening?
We can certainly try. Or we can at least cross the distance that is currently blocked by people in the mortal realm.
We need to go. If something happens to her.
Then let's go.
Okay.
We can talk about this later.
Right.
A question for both of you before you go. Before you enter the mortal realm. Do either of you glance towards the punch bowl?
No.
Actually,
Well,
wouldn't since
Oh,
where
well, I
you,
kind of did because I looked at
yeah,
Nathan
you looked at Nathan, and Nathan was on the other
on
side
the
of the
other
room.
side.
yeah, I'd say would that?
Okay, so yes.
Yeah, I guess then we both
Kinda.
would've-
It would have caught. It would have double taked
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is.
Mara, you would have noticed that the wisp, that's like this deep blue. The wisp that would have represented the person that Cale was talking to. What wisp?
Mara doesn't really understand the significance of that.
The wisp is gone.
But
you need to go. You need to go. You need to go.
She needs to go. They need to go. We're gonna go. So they're going.
And just before you return to the mortal realm, Nathan, you are seeing this showboating, this grandstanding. In the moment, I don't know if you would have noticed. You blink and the warmth on your arm is gone. Where's Sparrow?
He starts like looking around, trying to find where Sparrow went.
As the eyes like fall back on Roderick, as he's descending down to, I want to say, Kanye West's Power.
Yeah, that's right.
As the party is getting started, the spotlight fades, the party resumes, but you can't see Sparrow anywhere. Let's see. Let me look at the ghost real quick. What moves do you have?
Uh-oh.
Well, definitely limitless. We already talked about him no clipping through everything. And I went with helpful spirit, only because there was like way I was wanting to play Nathan.
Okay. Let's think of this. Because very clearly, Sparrow had the conditions are sort of vague in this game. They can be kind of anything. You know damn well Sparrow is anxious. And maybe through that night, watching movies together and spending time together and getting to know each other a bit more, you resolved that condition for them, and you have a string on Sparrow.
Ooh, okay.
And in this game of magic, of etherealness, of connections, I would say that you don't have to spend, because this is my game and fuck off, you don't have to spend the string, but you notice this sort of ethereal tether from the center of your chest, and the way it points, it's pointing towards the basement.
I'll follow it because it's like I'm getting a sense that the other end of that tether is Sparrow, right?
Indeed.
Then yeah, I'll start heading towards the basement.
And
just following
as you
this
get
tether.
closer, the tendril starts to get stronger, as if it is becoming braided with others. And you notice Cale and Mara at the entrance of the basement.
You are so muted right now, my friend.
I certainly am. Sorry.
My apologies if that's incorrect.
I think Cale would have. I think they would have traversed as much as they could have in the Fey realm to avoid people.
Gotcha.
So they would have, I think, gone into the basement in the Fey realm, figured out and then popped back in when it became appropriate because they saw like the wisps of people and things of that nature where they would need to be in the mortal plane.
Gotcha. So you two would technically be in the basement?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Or at least halfway down?
Yeah.
Sure.
On
Yeah.
stairs, perhaps.
Yeah. As you approach the basement, you notice that tether sort of like go down as if going through stairs. Nathan,
Yeah, I'm just
when have floors ever confined you? When has architecture ever confined you? This is your moment. Sparrow's in trouble. Sparrow's your only friend.
The one time I really hoping I don't find the back rooms. Thump.
Do you just like face plant into the floor?
It's like just takes a step and it's like going. It's like it's as if there was a false floor, but there's still a floor there.
So, Fen, you are literally muted.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So, Mara and Cale, you full out see this ghosty boy dressed as Gomez Adams just like full on whoop and appear right next to you, or rather right above you.
Motherfucker! Holy shit! God!
Ah.
You!
Hi.
Oh, I forgot to clarify. Mara, right?
Yes.
He's dead, so that's why.
Excuse me?
Yeah. He's a ghost.
Hi.
Oh,
Nathan,
mother.
how does Cale know you're dead?
Uh,
Or rather, Cale, how do you know Nathan is dead?
Probably from seeing him from the Fey realm.
I think there's a much more heartbreaking way, because I like sewing and trauma.
Fuck you. Lay it on me.
Full send,
Do you,
baby. Let's
okay,
go.
okay.
Go on.
Quick T. Do you have an idea of how Nathan died?
Yes.
How did he die?
Bad food poisoning, real bad food poisoning. He had no friends, so he had no one to call, and it was like real sick.
How dare you?
God,
How dare?
So
how
he just
dare
died,
you?
He just died in his room. It's like
How dare
it was
you?
like food poisoning. He didn't think it was all that bad, then it turned real bad, and he didn't have anybody to call, and you're just like, yeah.
I want to say that Cale found your body
Yo.
and found you because since they're a Fae,
Yeah.
and so while they don't fully talk about it much or interact on a deep level, Cale does know you exist. And I think that is how Cale knows how you both, that you're dead and how you died.
Yeah, because it's like the moldy food.
So,
Oh, honey.
was that just like a flashback?
I think
It
so.
felt like that, yeah.
Yup.
As we and the audience are caught up to speed, there's just like this air of, oh, buddy.
Yeah.
I think Nathan, by this time, you just sort of like floated down like beside them on the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're
Faye.
a Fae. We're a merry band right now, okay? We have to go down into the basement. I don't know why you're here now.
Friend I just made disappeared, and
Cale lights up, just excited.
Is that friend also dead?
You know, let's not change that.
no, I don't know. I hope not.
Nathan, Sparrow was very warm. Sparrow is alive.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, when I was last with them, just before
We don't
the
have time.
spotlight,
We don't have time.
they were.
Okay.
We don't have time for this. Okay, your friend's alive. Great. They're in the basement. Let's go.
I'm so glad this is a very long hallway and stairway that does not echo.
Well, there's also music going on upstairs. You know, the
That
party
too,
is
that
too. So people aren't paying
Also,
too much
this
attention.
is a full-out murder staircase.
Oh,
Yeah, at
I mean,
some
it's complete
point,
with the ghost
Mara
now.
has grabbed Cale's hand and is just dragging them along, kind of, but also like, I need to have a thing to hold right now.
Mhm.
This is what's happening.
Is Mara
Nate-
squeezing just a little too hard?
Yes.
Okay.
Nathan just kind of floating down the stairs.
Behind.
There's this full-out moment between Cale and Mara, and Nathan's like, "Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious." Wait, would Nathan know about that?
Nathan would not know about don't be suspicious, I don't think.
But what do you?
Probably not.
No, I need this on the record. Ash, how much of a meme lord is Nathan? Quickly.
Somewhat.
You would know, don't be suspicious.
Okay.
Executive decision. Nathan knows.
Okay.
Perfect. Good.
I mean, when he's not people watching or in classes or just roaming the dorm buildings through walls and rooms and whatnot.
Like, I imagine no one notices Nathan, so he's just floating through walls like, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious, don't be. So the three of you enter this basement, and Mara, you know an infernal ritual when you see one.
The hand on Cale tightens more.
You see Ariadne, Sparrow, Tara, and two other people. You're not really sure who they are. But gosh darn it, they're having a rough night. They are dressed as Tinkerbell and Peter Pan, respectively. They kind of look like a couple. Like, they're like... The guy's like, babe, I don't know what's happening. Babe. It's like, we gotta be strong. Someone will come and save us. They're very, like, CW protagonists.
Yes, got it.
AKA,
I'm
not important enough to
it.
have names.
I'm envisioning it exactly.
So, in the middle of them, you all see Roderick as he has stripped off the top half and the powdered wig of his costume.
Good.
Revealing... Mara, you would know this. Very poorly made infernal tattoos. Like... like someone did these while drunk, or like, yeah, sure, you want Beelzebub in Infernal, right? How about B-A-Z? And kind of fucked them up. But it seems that Roderick's all in on this devil pack thing, and he's like dipping his hands into... This is probably the saddest and most fucked up thing of this one shot. Into like this bowl of like what seemed to be ashes, like cremated ashes. And Nathan, looking around, you see an urn discarded that just says Fluffy.
You are not. Do the rest of us clock this?
I think you all do, and you're like, dude, what the fuck?
This like what I just did, I feel like is also something Cale does in character, where just fully rubs their eyes with one hand, you know, forefinger on one, thumb on the other, and then brings it down over their mouth before letting it fall, and goes, "You did not."
Mara has let go of Cale's hand and has rushed forward to Tara, where Tara's
You
tied
have
up.
let go?
I have let go.
Okay, cool.
I have now let go.
Okay.
Roderick does nothing to stop you.
Is Tara awake?
Tara is awake and like chained to this pillar. They're all sort of chained to these pillars, to which you think, how the fuck did they fit in 5 pillars in this fucking, you know what, rich people.
Rich people.
So Roderick is sort of like digging his hands into these ashes and sort of like letting them fall like sand, and he's muttering incantations.
Mara starts tugging on Tara's chains, like trying to see where exactly they're like connected to.
As you gain more of a grasp on the situation, as Roderick is fully having his cinematic moment, and none of you else are, they're very poorly made chains. They're the kind of chains that's just like there's like a little linchpin at like the back of the pillar. But it's very clear that someone who does not know how to put these like little linchpins in did it. Like someone, like maybe one of Roderick's like little clique sort of like tried to like knock it down and kind of like barely got it into like the stonework. It's like, yeah, that works. So very easily you could get your people out of here.
Too easily, some might say.
Roderick at this point is just screaming in Pig Latin.
What the fuck is happening right now? Hey, are you okay? Are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I don't know what happened. I just kind of entered this place in a daze, and then I was chained, and then like this couple came, and then like great Morticia costume, by the way. Oh, thanks. Hi. And like this and like Tara sort of like looks at Ariadne, who is just sort of like solemn and sort of like muttering prayers muttering prayers just to themselves. Yeah, they've been muttering stuff about the moon, and like Roderick didn't even like look at us. He just sort of like walked into the room and said, "The time has come," and he's just been doing that for the past 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Cale, could you get them chains, please? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Nathan, you can get Sparrow out easily.
Mara's gonna walk up to Roderick and kind of like kick the bowl.
No, my ascension.
Listen here, you little weasel. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Obviously summoning the forces of darkness to make sure that I'm immortal and sacrificing these 5 losers.
Yeah, before you start sacrificing people, you might want to learn how chains work, bud.
What? But fucking Barry, shit. Petty Mara is an energy I need.
Do you wanna be immortal? You want that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Duh. Yeah.
You want that? What would you give me for it?
Like, you want this house?
Oh, honey. It's gonna take more than your house.
I think
I could help you.
Like my car?
Mara's gonna like put her hand on his chest in a very deliberate way.
Is Cale just in the background of the shot? Cale is just like in the background of the shot. What are Cale and Nathan doing? I need this on the record.
Cale's taking the people out, and is currently when he offers the house, they kind of they're like, okay, poor choice, but okay. And then the car, they just fully scoff at him, and then I think it's just that is the scene that as is placing her hand on his chest. That's what they're doing in the
As you
background.
help
It's
up
just
Ariadne, and like Ariadne sort of like rubs their wrists and like looks at you. Rich people, and they sort of like look at you with a very
nod.
grateful smirk and a blush before helping out the couple.
Gotcha.
After Nathan helped Sparrow out, he honestly went over to the kicked bowl of ashes and just like scooping it back in, and then he carries it over to the urn to pour it back into the urn.
That's so soft.
As you pour, and I think Sparrow helps you with this. As you, this is just because I know what Mara is about to do is a little fucked up, like because Infernal Bargains are also fucked up.
Yeah.
As you refill the ashes, out of the urn, a little ghost cat. No, sorry, not a cat. Not a cat. My apologies. I'm so sorry. A little ghost corgi. A little ghost corgi sort of like pops their head out of the urn and sort of like gets out of the urn, sort of like sniffing you and sort of like running around you and like sort of like sits and like looks at you and Sparrow expectantly. Sparrow's like, "Do we have a ghost dog?"
Nathan just picks it up.
You can pick the ghost dog up. The ghost dog knows you are of the ethereal realm. In this moment of solidarity, of softness, of communion, of community, you are no longer alone in this world. For you have Sparrow and this ghost dog, formerly known as Fluffy, but what do you name the ghost dog? Sparrow has a suggestion.
I mean, honestly, I was just gonna keep it as Fluffy only because it's like that's the name that it knew when it was alive.
In this moment, you realize that whatever name you give this dog will be the dog's name.
Okay, what's Sparrow's suggestion?
0. As a reference to Nightmare Before Christmas.
0 it is.
As you say 0 it is, the ethereal realm shakes with the power of names.
Oh, shit.
And with a collar emblazoned with 0 as a ghostly bandana is attached to the collar. It hops into Sparrow's arms. Do the three of you walk out with your ghost dog? Or do you, Nathan, stay for whatever the fuck is about to happen with Mara?
Honestly, kind of curious as to what's going to happen.
I'll see you. I'll see you in the dorms.
Okay, sure.
Okay, cool. And Sparrow kisses you on the cheek and then walks up the stairs. And for a split second, you swear you feel your body temperature rise. Mara, how are you gonna fuck this man's up?
Yeah, now Mara is no amateur. Mara has been doing this for a very
long
long time. And, you know, she hates what she does. She really does. But part of her revels in the feeling of the power that it gives her. And so, hand on this man's chest, she just kind of leans forward. And she's like, if you want it, you need to promise me something.
Yeah, cool. Like what? Like what I gotta promise? Like
she's gonna
like
cock her head to this head to the side, and she kind of shakes her head a little bit as she smiles. It's this grin that is just, you know, looking at it, you couldn't really see any malice in it. It's just someone truly enjoying what they're doing. And she goes, No. All I want is your soul.
And I get to be like immortal?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, done. Without any hesitation, without any thought, he says, cool, done, and that's all you need.
Thank you so much.
Nathan somehow makes an audible face palm.
Thank you so much, Roderick.
I just imagine Cale in the background going, fuck, man. Like,
No, Cale.
And, Roderick feels fine for, a second. And then all of a sudden, where Mara's hand is touching on his chest, he feels this searing pain.
fuck, shit, fuck!
It's not, there's no escaping from it. Because even when Mara takes her hand away, the print of her hand is still there, burned, seared into his chest. And she's laughing. She's cackling. Because this guy's an idiot. And any idiot would know that a servant cannot make a deal like that. Can't promise anything like that. All she needs is permission to take. And she got it.
Mara, the tattoos on Roderick's chest, upper torso, the infernal, the symbols are corrected. Instead of Bazathrax or whatever the fuck was fucked up with those tattoos, they just read Mara Strand. Property of.
Well, that usually doesn't happen.
You hear the entity in your mind go, well, fuck, that doesn't usually happen.
That wasn't you?
Baby, do I have the name Mara Strand? And as you are realizing, oh shit, maybe there is something to having done this for a very, very long time. Let's get into an epilogue. How do you spend your Halloween?
Honestly, with my new, what should we call him?
Intern.
Little guy. Intern. He's an intern.
Unpaid intern.
Oh, he's so unpaid.
And with your
So
control over this
unpaid.
intern, if we do return to this, I'd like for you to write this down, Todd. Gain the queen move, the click. And the move streaming from the queen playbook. Because Roderick's gang is now your gang.
Oh, yeah.
The queen
you.
overthrew the king and took over.
Boom, boom, boom. With my little unpaid intern. Reparations comes to mind.
I know
Justice.
that's right.
He has so much money.
He does have so much money.
Oh man, there are so many clubs at school that could use this money to fund so many awesome projects.
Also, personal reparations to the people he was willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Ariadne.
Yeah, I mean that's a given.
Sparrow,
That's
Tara,
a given.
Ben, Judy.
Ben and Judy, they got names.
They got names. Wow.
They got names now. Yeah.
They got upgraded once reparations were in play.
Yeah, Ben is a marine biology major.
Aw.
And
Shit,
Judy,
they're getting even more. They're getting even more upgraded.
And Judy, like Ariadne, is a Hellenistic history major.
Very nice. But reparations can wait. There's always the morning after.
Mm-hmm.
Being the benevolent owner that I am, I'll let Roderick return to the party. Looking as he does, a complete mess, with my name branded on his skin.
infernal
In a,
text, but
in a
in
script,
infernal text.
in a script,
No
few
one can read it. Few can read, but those who can read are having a real laugh.
promised him something.
You see one of those Instagram witches look at Roderick and go, and just start cackling.
Well, someone's an actual witch.
And looking at Mara now, you know, she's by Tara's side. There is something distinctly different about her.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the student has surpassed the master, has lifted herself up. Has surpassed, but it's like that. It's like that feeling where she looks like she has evolved into something distinctly new. No one has really seen this recently. And she's filled with this confidence that no one had really seen in her before. And she turns and looks in Cale, and she holds out her hand and asks them, "Want to dance?"
And they will graciously take it and say, "Absolutely." Cale will take
Of course,
it.
this is like house music.
Yeah. Well, care if I yes and this?
Yes, and please, yes, and.
So as you ask Mara for Cale to dance, Cale will take your hand, and just in that brief second of slip space, almost, will take you back into the Fey realm. And do you have a preferred style of music? Does Mara have a preferred style of music? And does she listen to it while she reads?
Oh, Mara, when she reads, is listening to, and this is almost exclusively, the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
That is what is playing on the speakers in the Fey realm. Is the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. As
very good.
Cale takes her hand, and then I believe with a bit of a small flourish, pulls her into a slow waltz.
Mara is so cool right now. She is being so chill about this. I am not. I am freaking out. But Mara is being very chill about this. And she is just, like, genuinely smiling. Like, her life has been so fucked up before this point, and she now finds herself more powerful than she has ever been, dancing in the arms of someone who has only ever been a stranger to her until this night. And she is genuinely happy. And completely forgot about the fact that she was supposed to turn a little someone over to her own master.
Oh, it's time later.
Yeah.
Or is there?
Dun, dun, dun,
Nathan, how do you spend Halloween?
Sparrow went back to the apartments, right?
Back to dorms, yeah.
I'm sure you could catch Sparrow at their car.
Yeah, because I did ride with them, so like Sparrow probably realized, oh wait, I drove him.
You can always no clip through and just fly home.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah,
Fly home.
Fly home. True.
It's whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll probably just kind of. Since Sparrow said they were going to go back
To the dorms, yeah.
to the dorms. And
I will say, if you start flying, you could probably have a very cinematic moment where there's this shot of Sparrow driving, and you flying and Zero coming out to join you.
Flying
That's
ghost dog, let's go.
Like, I mean, that's only if you want. So as
That's so cute, though.
as
Flying
Sparrow
ghost dog, let's
drives
go.
back to the dorms, and Zero senses you. Zero hops out of the car window and flies up to you.
What do you mean out the car window? Don't they just go up through the roof?
No, they phase through the window and diagonally just shoot up straight towards you.
Okay.
And as you two fly over the rooftops and Sparrow drives, you're at peace, but in a better way than you were.
For now.
And that is where we call an end to this. But, I mean, I love a post-credits moment. Don't you?
Don't we all?
So, we cut back to that seamstress's shop. As the doorbell jingles, we see the entity still in that Wicked Witch of the West costume. Okay. It's good work. Gotta give you that. The seamstress only just gives this little chuckle. She upstaged you and looked good doing it. That's what I wanted. And you lost the bet this year. Fuck, what do I owe you? Like, I have this Ming Dynasty vase. And what do you want? What do I want? And we hear, this is late at night, this is like at the end of Halloween, we hear a familiar voice go, "Grandmother, are you alone down there?" "I'll be up in a moment, Ariadne. Just prepare the tea. It'll be fine. I don't have a guest down here." "Okay. How are you at playing matchmaker?" And that's where we'll end it. Thank you so much for joining me for this weird fucking Monsterhearts game.
Woo.
This is so fun.
It was supposed to be a bigger whodunit, but I'm just like, nah, let's just make the villain a rich asshole. Why not?
Yeah.
My name is Caleb Wade. I was your MC this evening, and I want to say thank you to my amazing cast, my amazing players. Let's reintroduce you to them one last time. Let's start with Ash.
Yo, I'm Ash, he, him. Played Nathan Felch, the ghost. Also he, him.
Fen.
Hello, I've been Fen. You've been listening to me play Cale Rosemond, they, them, the Fae. You can find me all over the internet, F and G, if we're doing plugs here. Otherwise,
I mean,
thank you
you
for
don't
having
have
me.
to do plugs.
No, okay, then whatever. Hey, I'm Fen. Yeah, I've been playing Cale, not Cale, but Cale Rosemond. They, them,
You're
pronouns.
playing me? What?
I've not been playing you.
What's going on?
No.
But I spelled my name with a K. What's going on?
There's also no B in this name, but that's beside the point.
And last but certainly not least, Tot.
Hello, I'm Tot, she, they, and I have played Mara Strand, also she, they, your newest infernal patron. If you would like to sell your soul to me, you can find me on Twitter at Tot Coco.
Links to all social media will be in the description of this episode. Thank you so much for listening, and have an ooky spooky Halloween. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to part 2 of our Monsterhearts one-shot. This podcast was recorded in Riverside.fm and edited in Audacity, with music from Epidemic Sound. This one-shot was produced, edited, and MC'd by Caleb Wade. Our performers were The Real Ash Gamer, Fennuccini, and Tot. Links to where you can find everyone will be in the description below. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review on your podcast provider of choice, and we will see you next time for more adventures to come. Happy Halloween!